you are called to serve the Creator. You were put here and created to serve Him. This is not about you. Yahweh didn't say, let my people go so they can go have fun and have a free life and just not be slaves. He said, let them come out of her, my people, so to speak. Let them go so they can serve me. You exist for the reason of serving Him. That's the purpose He gave us, that you should be serving Him. All right, now you gotta figure out what that looks like and what it means. So that's why I read so many of those. I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times within 3 chapters, right? 8, 9, and 10. That every interaction was to let the Pharaoh know, by the way, you have a Pharaoh sitting on your throne when you're self-sovereign. It starts with that awe, reverence, respect, which then leads to our desire to go ahead and trust and do what He says, walk in His ways, because we have that awe and reverence and respect, so we're gonna trust and do what He said. In doing, we recognize that He loves us, because everything we do proves out to be the right things for us. And out of love, He tells us what those are. And so we fall in love with Him. Sorry, Christianity, you don't start off with love. That's false love. That's I don't know. It's like puppy love. It's just that, stuff that happens when you first meet somebody, love at first sight thing, and it's like, ooh, goofy and everything, but you don't even know anything about the person yet. When you serve Him, you're serving Him with this awe, respect, reverence, and actual fear. Okay? By fear, I don't mean like, you're scared, but fear of disappointing, fear of failing Him, fear of letting Him down. The kind of fear you have for those you love the most. Okay? If you love someone enough, you'll be afraid to disappoint them. You'll have a fear of letting them down, a fear of having them look at you with that, oh my gosh, what did you just do? Look, right? All of that stuff in that sentence, well done, good, and trustworthy, we're all pointing to what kind of thing is well done, good, and trustworthy. It's a servant. How you do the servant is well done, good, and trustworthy. So the servant is the most important piece. The other pieces are of no good if you don't even understand the context. Okay? The context is servant, how? Doing it well and being good and being trustworthy. But it's about being a servant. And I brought you back to the Tanakh and to Exodus to start because I wanted you to see that that was always the point. It's not a new point. Take them out of Egypt. Pharaoh, let them go so that they serve me. That is the point. These verses, we got a lot of them in Proverbs that we can look at that talks about greed and wealth and stuff. What the problem is, when it talks about riches in a negative sense, it's talking about power, the seeking of power. So you can't serve Elohim and the pursuit of power, okay? Because people will use these verses and say, well, it's wrong to be wealthy. Almost everybody in your Bible was wealthy of any measure. All the important people were very wealthy. But they were not serving mammon, which is the pursuit of wealth for power's sake, or the pursuit of power. He says, because at some point, you're gonna start to love the one and hate the other, cling to the one, despise the other. And it's not necessarily talking about here, in my opinion, okay? It's not talking about holistically, meaning you're gonna fully love the one and fully hate the other. But you're gonna find yourselves at times loving one and hating the other because the one you hate is the one that said no. The one you hate is the one that doesn't let you have what you want. Not gonna let you get your way. So you're gonna love the one that's gonna let you get your way. This is from a fleshly point of view when he's talking about here, all right? Now, of course, you're gonna serve Elohim, you're gonna recognize that his way is the way that blesses you the most, and then you're gonna start to desire his way. So if you're serving Elohim, he wants you to be wealthy. He does, but for a reason, and the reason being to establish his covenant. What does it mean to establish his covenant? Well, he said, if you covenant with me, I will bless you with all these things. So if you do, he gives you the wealth because that proves his covenant true. It's not, he doesn't give you the wealth to go out there and convert people. That's not what it says there. It says people will see that this establishes the covenant. In other words, it makes it firm. It says, he said, if I covenanted, I will have wealth. Right? It says, for where your treasure is, there your heart is. So in other words, not where your treasure is, as far as the physical things, what you treasure is expressed by what's in your heart. So when you tell me what you treasure, I know where your heart's at. What do you treasure? So that's another thing you could also take into the verse that talks about laying up in heaven. In other words, you should treasure those things that are of the heavenlies instead of treasuring those things of the earthly. Treasure the spiritual, not the flesh. Treasure the above, not the below. 3 ways of saying the same thing. This whole thing about the eye. You have to understand culture, idioms. So the evil eye, when they're talking about an evil eye here, it's a jealous, envious type of eye. You're looking at things with that jealousy, envy, okay? So it says the lamp of the body is the eye. If therefore your eye is good, so it sees things correctly, only desires things that are right, he says all your body shall be enlightened. But if your eye is evil, desiring all these things that you're jealous of and you envy that really you shouldn't have, how many people look at the wrong of the world but they seem like they're being successful? They seem like they have what you want and you don't have. That's what this is talking about, that, right? Because then you may desire what they have. Of course, then we should know that there's a law in the universe that says in order to have what somebody has, you have to do what they did. And you shouldn't do what they did to get what they have. He says, because of this, you don't worry about your life. Because when you worry about your life, your temptation is to go seek mammon, some sort of power to fix your problem. You get that now? Powerful. Okay? So it's not just like, well, don't worry about anything and, whatever. He's just going to give you a... No, that's what Christianity teaches you, and most many Messianics. This is about when you worry, you are open to temptation to go in a wrong direction to fix your problem. Do you understand? Because if you're of Elohim, you shouldn't be worried because he's going to fix your problem or lead you to those who can help you, give you guidance so you can fix your problem or whatever. But it's not going to be that you're going to go in the wrong area and go seek the wrong powers and whatever it is that you're going to seek to fix your problem. Take shortcuts, treat, steal, whatever you're going to do. You're not going to do the dumb things just because you're worried.